All right, welcome everyone. My name is Paula Phillips, also known as Journal Artista, and it is Sunday over on the Journal Artista channel. Just update this. Listen to myself. Oh. Not looking up. My apologies. All right. Good morning, Christy. Or good afternoon. Good afternoon. So look at that. I have not done anything in here since last night. So let me just sort some of this stuff. I need to sort some of these papers that are like more collage papers, like the ones that are just the in-betweener type copies. Good morning, Sherry. Good afternoon. It's afternoon. That one kind of turned out cool, actually. Different. Weird. We're good. Weird, strange. Oh, right on there. What a disaster I got over here. Some of these small ones is what I had ripped that I keep in my journal. Those ones over here that I use. Oh, actually, I don't want them now because I got some new wax paper. So I don't need to keep these. And more. All right. Those are kind of like the better sheets than our good sheets. Got me some coffee. So I got up early. I'm wearing my pot holder dress today as like a house coat. Keeps me. It'll probably come off here in another half an hour, not even 10 minutes. Gets hot with my lights. But I got up. I don't know. I went to bed. I got up early. I got up before 6. Took a shower. Got dressed. I'm telling you, I drank that whole thing of French press, that coffee, and it did nothing. Around 10 o'clock, I'm like 9:30. I'm like, I'm tired. I need to take a nap. So even after drinking a whole thing of coffee, I took a nap. Hi, Linda. So I don't know what. So I'm gonna clean off my desk. That's important. Let's start with a fresh slate. So clean off this stuff from yesterday or last night. Oh, okay. This bad boy. Definitely needs a bath. And then our good prints. Good morning, Cynthia. Just clean my desk. All right, I forgot to put my rice paper underneath something heavy last night, so it still has that big rip in it. Maybe I'll play with rice. What do you guys think? Should I play with some rice paper today? Try different products on it. Try some sprays. I have never, like I said, I might have collaged with rice paper before, but I've never like actually stamped on it or painted on it or used where's that kit? Oh, I still got that knot in my back. Oh, every time I look to the right a little bit. Anyway. Well, probably can't use that. I don't know where that Sumi kit is. Where would I have put it after I showed you guys? All right. Let's put my stencils away. Love, keep, note, shine. Hello. I've had this for a while. Did Jean make me that? Sometimes you have to, if your stencils get stuck together, just give them a little shake till they come apart. Good afternoon, Judy. Hey, Jamie. Okay, time to take the dress off. The lights get hot real quick, and then, pot holder dress gets extra hot. All right. You can't see it, but I promise I'm actually putting stuff away. Over here. Not just shuffling piles. I'm putting stuff where they go. Ooh, look, puppy pods. Ooh, I haven't used a PTP puppy pods in a long time. One of my absolute favorite stencils from Patty Tully Pearish over at istencils.com. And there's different sizes of it. Whew. By now, she might have even different styles. Don't you need? I'm moving some stuff over here. Let's see if I can find that kit. The one that I bought that had the inkstone in it that, Linda Berry told me to buy. Good afternoon, Claire. Hey, Gail. Hi, Elizabeth. All right. Now, if you were a Sumi set, why wouldn't you call it a Sumi set? It's not. Well, there is Sumi ink. Moving stuff. All right. Those are books. Definitely not in that bag. Drink some coffee, Paula. No, nice start to the day so far today, but I think we're beginning the storms that happen in the Midwest. Usually, Toronto's weather is very similar to, like, say, Chicago. It's just a few hours off. Well, if it's coming west to east, I suppose. Still more stuff over here. Liquitex Basics. All right. Oh, here it is. Look at that. All you have to do is pick up a few things off this pile beside me, and I have it. Now, I don't know what kind of quality this is, my friends. So, like, when I bought, I don't know. I'm sure it's just like a student grade. Maybe. I don't know how to use a Chinese, or I don't know if it's Chinese, Oriental brush, Sumi brush. Do they call it a calligraphy brush? My ignorance is showing. Good morning, Shawnee. You have power, my friend? Did you have a good night? Were you uncomfortable? Oh, sorry, that was loud. All right, stencils out of the way. I've got my 2 journals right here. Sponsors. What? Why do I have these little guys over here? Hold the fort. Where's Barb? So I watched Barb Owen over here on the YouTube on Friday. I believe it's once a month. She does Drama Free Fridays. over here on YouTube, streams live, and she showed her stencil box. Now, Lisa, our wonderful friend Lisa, gave me this box. That I originally saw it at the first Maryland Art Retreat. She brought it. So, if anybody remembers Barb showing her this, and these, my friends, if you don't have one, so that it's all kind of ripped up. Don't spill the coffee. Don't spill the coffee. Protect the coffee. Shauna says, "Oh, you got power. That's awesome. Didn't sleep well. Came back 4. Well, I'm glad you got it back, Shauna. That's important. All right, card keeper. It's an iris card keeper. So Lisa sent me this, 9¼ inch by 10¼ but it fits, 6x6 stencil as well. So Barb was like, "Oh, it looks like it's no, Barb." Here I was. I'm telling you, she was speaking my truth that day. She was like, "Oh." Anyways, everything she said, she's like, "Who has a whole bunch of bags of scraps?" Not me. Nope, not me. "Who has a whole bunch of paint that's dried up that yeah, we haven't used it forever, it's dried up?" Nope, not me, not me. So, then she busts out this stencil thing and says, "Look at how messy it is, my friends. You can't do it." And I'm just thinking to myself, "No, Barb, yours looks good. This is messy. This is messy." Barb, she does paste papers a lot too, so she did a whole bunch of paste papers on file folders to put in that box. But that box is a perfect size though for that, my friends. It really is. If you can keep it organized better than me. All right, almost ready. Looks like we've got a clean slate. So again, I found this on Amazon. It just looks like that. I mean, I can throw up a link, but if you just write, calligraphy practice set or something like that, you'll find one. So I've been reading 100 Demons by Linda Berry. I've read almost all of her books. I said to before, I read all her books. No, I don't. There's a lot of books I don't even have. Never mind, not read. But I have read What It Is. Picture This. Syllabus at least twice, or twice for sure, maybe a third time. The comic, her newest comic one, I haven't read entirely yet. So 100 Demons, she published that in 2005-ish, I think. Anyways, in the back of the book, she suggests an inkstone and Chinese calligraphy brush. All right, all of a sudden it's super hot in here. Hi, Cheryl. Hey, Tess. Yeah, it's hot here. Hot and humid. Oh. So it came with an inkstone. Now, I remember seeing an inkstone at Loomis and Tools or Desserts. What is it called now? Maybe it's just called Loomis? Desserts? I forget. Anyways, this is plastic. I didn't remember it being plastic, but I don't think it's bad that it's plastic. It comes with a little brush thing. I'm assuming this is some Sumi ink. And then the inkstone, which apparently is like ground up charcoal or something, compressed charcoal. And 2 brushes. I'm assuming they have different types of hair, one synthetic and one natural. Or maybe they're both. Hard to say. But it also came, this set, and if you remember me showing it, it's got like grips. Now I can't, obviously read Chinese, but I'm assuming if those 2 grips are like that for that, like I've been trying to like flip it around and figure out which fingers go on what grip. Like obviously it's trying to teach you how to hold a brush properly. Are you supposed to hold it like this? Again, my friends, how not to use rice paper. We are just experimenting. Like this? I don't know. But I'm thinking it's for grip. If you watch Linda Berry paint, like she has a YouTube channel, and it's for kids, so you can't comment on her videos or anything. Or she has it set for viewing for kids, so you can't add comments, or there's no ratings, and you can't use YouTube Premium. Like, you know, I like to use my YouTube Red or YouTube Premium so that if I'm watching a video and I'm doing other things on my phone or my tablet, like you can go off of YouTube and it just, you know, it minimizes and you have a little picture in picture. If you're watching videos that are meant, that are like, if it out of a, not just videos, but a channel as well that are meant for kids, you can't do that picture in picture thing, which is my favorite reason for having YouTube Premium. Hi, Tori. Good afternoon. She says that it looks like squirrel and goat. It's very hard. It's very hard. So, hey, Cheryl, you have to put one of your front fingers behind. Ah, Julie. Like this? I don't know which one goes where. That's, anyways. I really went, like I said, there are characters on here, but I cannot read them. So, not even like this. That doesn't feel right. But I mean, I think it's supposed to. Yeah, we'll soak it in water. Let us get. I've got my cleanish water here. But I do like the little case. It's kind of fun. I do have some other. I mean, I have a fancy, very tiny calligraphy brush that I bought when I was watching someone on Skillshare, one of the illustrators. Looks like this. But this is I think it's sable or something. Like, it's when it's wet, and then with paint or ink on it, it goes to a super fine point. So this one's fancy. I forget now. I guess I could look on my Amazon if somebody really cared. But yeah, this one's expensive. This one's fancy. But I do have some of those, you know. Here's one by Monet. Well, no, this isn't a Chinese calligraphy brush. This is a, what do you call these? Mops? No, drink some coffee, Paula. I need to read some of my watercolor books again. My vocabulary is, I'm forgetting. Quills. Sweet loving goodness. Yeah, so these are different. These are quills, whereas Chinese calligraphy brushes are somewhat different, I guess. Sandra gave me some. Oh, I remember. Z went to that show. Do I have them? Where would I have put some of them? Well, we tried this hockey brush the other day. That didn't go so well. Well, I guess I can't find them. We'll just use what we have. We'll use the ones that come in the kit. Now, am I supposed to wash these bad boys? Do they have some? Oh, my God, here it goes. I mean, they were super hard. I wonder if they have some type of chemical. Feels good. It's definitely thick. My apologies for the autofocus. Hi, Brenda. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. All right, so that one came out okay. This one, ew. I guess there had some pigment settling in the bottom of that. My water was not completely clean. It's okay. We're just going to be using this black ink block thingamajiggy. Am I even supposed to be really wetting these? I don't know. Oh, look at inside. Look. Outside, it must be bleached. Inside, the hair is, it's kind of like mine. On the outside, Good morning, Jonna. That's interesting. Very interesting. But this brush is definitely more rough. So I'm assuming that would be more Well, you know, I should not assume, because, you know, if it's like boar hair or something, it would be pretty rough, All right. So, according to Linda Berry and the 100 Demons book, just take your 8 stones. She said to spray the stone. Again, I don't have any idea what I'm doing, my friends. How not to use an ink stone, rice paper, any of these brushes. I'm not doing calligraphy. This is just mark making, my friends. So go easy on me. Leave tips in the comments below. So she said you're not supposed to grind it. You just kind of rub it. And she talks about like meditation process during this and stuff. Hey Sandy, welcome. I don't know if this is actually doing. How do you know if it's doing anything? Look, it's not. How do you know if? And what makes me worried is that this isn't like you would think that if something needed to grind, it would need a stone. Like that, nothing came. Nothing has. Oh, okay. There's. I don't know. How can you grind something on plastic? And maybe I'm supposed to be doing it over here, because there's like a little. Is this where you're supposed to tilt your brush? It's got like a little ashtray thing there. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, everybody that's, you know, getting all worked up because I'm not using an ink stick right, just breathe through it. In for 2, out for 4. In for 4, out for 8. So let's see. I don't even know. Oh, well, I guess we're getting something. Now, this may be the... I don't even know if I'm doing this right. It's not. Nothing, like it looks wet, but nothing's coming. I don't think it's coming off. And it's making the weirdest of noises. That's probably like making everybody's skin absolutely crawl. Am I supposed to use more water? Where's Jane when you need her? Well, some of it's coming. I mean, obviously I'm going to need more water, right? This doesn't look like enough for anything. I don't know. Add more. And I think it's supposed to pool down here. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to be too light. She said go light, but maybe let's put my back into it. Oh, I don't even know how dark it's supposed to be. Again, some of my favorite videos. How not to use. Okay, so, oh, there's this stuff definitely. Good morning, Anne. We're just playing with some stuff. Just no idea what I'm really doing. I'm making a mess is what we're doing. All right, let's dip our brush into it and see what happens. I don't know. Maybe I should have just started with the Sumi ink first. Wait a second. I need a... Where's the shop towels? And I'll just use a paper towel. Oh, that... Right. I don't know. We've never done this before. We have some rice paper. I don't know if there's enough ink on there, but we guess we'll see. Are you even supposed to... Okay. I don't know. So I'm not going to use the grips because I don't know where I'm supposed to put my fingers on those bad boys. Hi, CP. Good to see you, my friend. It pulls in the deep end, yeah. But I don't think I'm scraping it enough. Let's see what comes off. I don't know. Let's just do a straight line. No, look. Nope. Nothing. I think I really have to, like, put my back into it. But it's not really a stone. It's a piece of plastic. I'm sure the one I saw in the art store that one time that I actually looked in that section was actually a stone. This is a process. I can see why how it's meditative, you know, how you're supposed to take your time and, you know, grind your ink and enjoy the whole process. I'm not sure if I'm getting anything off of here that's good for anything. Oh, well, that's a little bit darker. So I'm just touching the brush lightly. Let's bend the bristles. And I don't know if the brush is supposed to be wet first. I don't know. I guess I should take out some of my books. Let's do some. I don't know. I'm probably holding the brush all wrong. Don't. Hopefully, everybody not getting any worked up. Shell, you sent me a DM. I'm doing it right. I just maybe maybe I'm just trying. I'm being too impatient. I need to be one with the stone. Look, oh my gosh, look at how shaky my hands are. So I've never played with this type of brush or ink or rice paper before, so obviously my go-to. I don't know which brush this is. Let's add them. I don't know. Is it supposed to be super dark? I don't know if it's supposed to be like when I think of Chinese calligraphy ink, I think it's like the darkest of dark. Where's Linda when you need? I'm just kidding. Again, how not to do this? Let's pick up the other brush. For those in the crowd that may have done this before, in the chat or in the comments if you're watching the recording, are you supposed to use the brushes damp? Are you supposed to have the brush damp before dipping it into the ink, or does it matter? So this is a different brush hairs. Ooh, I like this. This one is definitely stiffer. Let's see. Oh, my paper's moving. Definitely making some interesting marks. I need to get out the... Anyways, I have more than one book that can help me with this. I'm not looking at the chat. Just deforms the brush quite quickly. Maybe that's what it's supposed to do, though. I need to watch me some videos. Carol's always rubbed the ink on a dry stone, then added water drop by drop. Oh, that's maybe what I'm doing wrong. And is your stone, CB, an actual stone or plastic like this one? Not sure that it matters. I do know you're supposed to kind of hold it. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to be thinking of it like a watercolor brush or it's different. Ooh, I got wet. I got this paper wet over here. Again, this is how not to use rice paper or Sumi inks or any of this stuff. We are just learning. Like, if something's on a brick, right? Or like on a stick like this, if you're rubbing it against plastic, which is kind of smooth, right? I just can't see as much, but maybe, I don't know. Don't you? I mean, I could just go and add some Sumi ink to this little mixture. I don't think it would hurt anything. would make it darker. All right, I'm back to that other brush that has, it seems that the bristles are definitely not as stiff as the other one. I guess, like anything, I'm attracted to straight lines first. Straight is relative, my friends, with my shaky hands, relatively speaking. So in her book, 100 Demons, she literally painted 100 demons with Sumi ink, or an inkstone and a brush. Not. Interesting. So if I hold it super light, barely touch the bristles down. I'm just mark making, my friends, just seeing how the brush reacts. It definitely seems like I have a lot of ink now. Kinda, maybe not. Ooh, I wonder how I better watch some videos and read some books. Ooh, that drug a little bit. So I'm probably using too much water. It's just I'm using a Chinese calligraphy ink, stone and ink and brush. It was in a set, came on Amazon. You just search on Amazon Chinese calligraphy and you can find a whole bunch of different sets. I believe that when I was super into watercolor, a few years back there, I think I bought a kit, but I don't know where it is. I could be wrong. It could have been one of those, put in my save for later carts with the other 200 items. And I just thought I purchased it and I didn't. It's pretty bad when you have to use your own YouTube videos to go back and like see if I have something. I don't know if it's so hard to tell with something dark and the stone is dark and everything's dark. I can't tell if I'm getting any ink or if anything's happening. Ding. Barely touching it down. And I don't know. I think so. Linda Berry said, or I was watching something. I think you have to have, or not have to, but a pad. She talked about a pad or something underneath your work. And I guess if that's, I don't know if that's only if you're using rice paper. If you need an absorbent type of something underneath, that's why I've got a paper towel. I don't know if I need it, if it's right, if it's wrong. I should probably get another piece of paper because now I'm just going over other spots and what happens when you do splots with this? I don't know if Chinese calligraphers think here's this girl doing some splots. Interesting. Now, these type of brushes, if all you ever use is an inkstone, your ink block, inkstone, and Sumi ink, I mean, you still have to wash them, right? You still treat them just like you would any other of your watercolor brushes. Small jar with a tiny opening. I had a little thinner brush and it helped. Well, we could use this. Like I said, I do have that fancy bad boy. I do have this one. That the girl that I watched, I wish I even remembered. Now it was a few years back. But she was an illustrator and and a painter too, but what she could do with this tiny, tiny brush, what the things that she could paint and draw blew my mind. I mean, it goes. I believe this is fully natural hair. I forget which one it is. Again, if anybody really, really cares, I can look on Amazon purchases and find out which one. But I don't know. I guess my go-to is lines and circles. And this, I don't have much space left on my little sheet here. Ew, there's not much ink left at all. Like what's down here is water. We can't even see because everything's so dark. But she would draw little characters with this brush. There's my attempt at a cat. All right. Ooh, the one at the an estate sale, one out of those stones, but I didn't know what it was. I chucked it. I was taught to hold the first two fingers on top, third behind the whole brush, vertical to the page. So the first Tori says I was taught to hold the brush, the first two fingers on top. So like this, right? Right? So my thumb and first two fingers. And then this one must be supposed, see there's a grip there. This one like this. Like this. Like, does that look right? My fingers on one. I mean, I can't see any other way that it would be, to be honest, or the way it would fit my fingers. Anyways, you got kicked off, Julie. Oh no. Hopefully, like this brush, this whole set cost like $22, I think. This brush, twice that much for sure. But I mean, it is. I could tell a difference right away. Well, small. You know me. I like small brushes, anyways. When it comes to watercoloring, I like the tiny. I like tiny things, tiny swatches. So I definitely need to do some just like exercises of just lines over and over, practicing with my brush. Like the things she could do with this blew my mind. But I gotta take care of that. Hey, Mary Beth. If you watch Japanese paint, they often hold the brush more vertical than we do. And we want to hold it like a pencil, right? Or the natural reaction to holding anything is, or for me anyways, is holding it like a pencil. We gotta choke it. All right, gonna keep this fancy brush. Well, that was our first attempt at mark making on the back. See, it bleeds right through. Again, I've never used rice paper before. I mean, I may have had some rice paper stuff that I've used in collage. I've glued in my art journal over the years. Don't get me wrong, but I can't even remember like purposely painting or doing anything on rice paper. It is super absorbent, my friends. And I was like, as I was saying last night, this is half ripe rice paper. I'm not quite sure what half ripe means. I'm assuming they harvested the rice when it was half ripe. But what does that mean? Does that mean it's more absorbent, less absorbent? What does that mean? That the paper is thinner, thicker? I don't know. CB says, often the set will come with a weight for the paper, the water pot, a brush, or two, as well as the ink sticks and a stone. A few of the stones have lids, most don't. I think I might invest in a different one. One on Amazon that has a real stone. Because I'm going to be spending a lot. I'm following some of the studying Linda Berry. So, I don't want to be frustrated with the tools I have. But at the same time, and I mean, I'm not going to go out and buy the most expensive one, but maybe I went and bought the absolute cheapest one first. Maybe I should have got, the middle ground somewhere. I don't know. What I do know is that this needs a little color. Nobody hate me. Nobody shoot me. I am going to throw on this color mist. This is super old, my friends. It was by Outside the Margins. I got it in a scrap goods kit in like the early 2000s, I think. It's old. It's old. Anyways, it's just 22 karat gold. I love how it goes. Let me just move my fancy brush out of the way. The last thing I want to spray on that. See what happens. I don't know what's going to happen with this paper and spray because it's just, look, it just went right through. What? It's not really interesting. Interesting. Let's try a Tim Holtz spray. I want to try the Dilutions paint on this, but this paper is so, I don't know how Dilutions paint. You know what? Let's get out our Gansai Tambi watercolor. I haven't used those bad boys in a while. Look, we have the Japanese. This set that has darker colors. Yes, let's do that. Okay, I try not to, this box is paper, so I try not to spray like I would my regular like metal palette. Try not to get the box too wet. So I put a little gold spray on it, but it kind of, you can see it a little bit, but it kind of sunk in. Interesting. Definitely not like the same effect as excuse me, as when I would spray the same color in my art journal or on like regular paper. Let me try some Distressed Spray Stain. Ugh, tongue twister. Give a little color over here. Again, how not to use rice paper. We're just having some fun using some stuff, my friends. That's what it's all about. We're just creating, playing around with things we've never played with before. Get out a new sheet. Half right equals less resistance to shear stress. So it's stronger paper then. The paper fibers, not really pulp if it's rice, is it? Yellow? I'll just not say that out loud because I don't know the proper terminology. All right, let's see what happens over here. These are Gansai Tambi watercolor paints. See what happens. So first, now again, I don't know if I should be having something under this. Look, I'm trying to not hold the brush properly. All right, so that is definitely darker. Definitely darker. So dark you can't really tell the color. Man. All right, so that picked up a lot of paint. Look at this. Let's see how long I can go with this brush. Oh, and look at how it's spreading out there. I wonder if that's because I don't have a piece of paper under it. Look. See how it's spreading out where I first put the tip down? The brush tip down? It's spreading. But that maybe it's because it was wet under here or something. Don't know. Don't know. Let's see if I can just, well, again, my paper is a little bit warped, so This is another color. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to spend my afternoon researching this stuff. Ooh, okay, so that's too much water. Look at what just went right through. No paint, just water. Interesting. Let us use a brush I'm more used to. This is a Da Vinci number 6 Usuri Sable. Usuri? Can't pronounce. Let's see if it's any different. We're gonna use a brush I'm familiar with. Hi, Therese. A brush that I have more control over. I don't even know why I'm making these marks. It's just coming out of my brush. This is Suri Sable brush. Carries a lot of paint. Holds a lot of paint, I should say. All right, that's very interesting. What am I doing wrong? Could be, well, I'm probably doing everything wrong, not just one thing. I don't even know if you can tell. That is a super concentration of paint. Maybe I need to put it on in this little bowl first. Mixing it with stuff. It's not clean. Don't hurt me. It's just watercolor in here. It's not a big deal. Just mark making. That you can definitely see now. Maybe it was too thick. I didn't have enough water in my Sumi ink. Not Sumi ink, excuse me. Kuretake Gansai paints. Oh, I'm making a mess. Let's draw some circles. I'm not watching chat, guys. Oh yeah, we got definitely, normally I use my Tammys or use this on different paper. But I bought this rice paper. So we'll just try it out. Interesting. Like if I were to just do a regular. Oh boy. How not to use rice paper. Good morning, Jane. Welcome to the Madhouse. You'll laugh at my first part of the video when you watch the recording. When I tried to use the inkstone. All right, I'm going to add a little bit. So let's try to draw some L's. This. Nope, that didn't go so well. Look at that. Nope. So last night when I jelly plated with this paper, with the rice paper, I had a hard time pulling it off the plate. I turned the plate over and peeled the plate off the paper and it worked. Maybe we'll jelly plate more with this instead. I want to take me some Dilutions paint and see what happens. First, we need to find the paint and a thingamajig. So I found some Dilutions paint. Now, where is the bag with all the tools in it? See what happens? You put stuff away. Should not. Oh well. I guess I'll just put it on with a spouncer. It's not the regular blending tool, but drink some coffee. I think I needed a wetter layer of paint so it doesn't stick on the plate. Well, if you had a wetter layer of paint, then he wouldn't be able to pick up the 3 layers or the layers of paint underneath properly. Tori, these paints on black paper will not show up. They're not, this particular set of Kuretake Gansai wouldn't show up on dark or black paper because they're dark. They're not metallic colors. So they wouldn't show up on dark paper at all, I don't think. They're like shades of black, right? Like black with a little burgundy in it, black with a little blue, black with a little brown, black with a little green. Does it look like this? You could buy them on Amazon. Japanesque color. But you know my favorite ones. I think it's Patty that made me buy them. The fluorescent bad boys. I would have to look for those here under my, if you really wanted to see them. But I really do like the fluorescent colors. I only have this one set of the Caleros. Cannot pronounce it. Why are they off their things? Unacceptable. I only have the one set of that. I mean, I do have the big set of the Gansai Tambi ones. But I really love the fluorescent ones. We'll try some Dilutions paint on this paper. I'm curious to see if it goes through. All right, so I haven't used this paint in a while. We've got not the type of crusty bits I like. Not completely dried out though, so it could be worse. All right, whoa, that's a lot. I'm just going to take a little bit. This is Dilutions paint in Dirty Martini. Have a wonderful evening, Claire. They're actually, those paints I think are like under $20. They're actually relatively speaking somewhat affordable. Affordable may not be the right word. They're not super expensive. How about that? Oh, you know what I got in the mail today? A new set of watercolors. Oh, a bye. Extra gentle. So, one brand of watercolor I never bought when I was researching all the different types of watercolors was the St. Petersburg White Knights. I remember our good friend Sarah O. If everybody remembers Sarah O, she always used White Knights. And I think on it, if you're over on Instagram, she still is using them. So I just got a set of 12. I got the cutest new flat iron in a BoxyCharm box. Not recent. I canceled my BoxyCharm boxes when I got back into art. But anyway, I canceled. I guess my last BoxyCharm was it January or December's box. No, I got December's Boxy Lux, and then that's the last one. But in a BoxyCharm, I got the cutest hair straightener. Anyways, if you like that stuff, I really do suggest BoxyCharm. I just can't afford it anymore, but I really like you get good products. You can, get some good value for your money, that's for sure. All right, so the Dilutions paint ripped my paper, but that's my fault, not the paint's fault. Yeah, and then Jane told me that she uses White Knight, so I'm like, oh, I saw it on Amazon for the 12 set. I think it was like $32 Canadian. Took a while to get here, but it was on my doorstep this morning after I took my nap. So I unrolled, I took them out. They look like they're hand poured. Some of the pans, I should get it. When I take a quick break, I'll go. They're in the living room because I was unrolling them. I was unboxing them, taking them out of the package there, and the pans, they definitely look hand filled, which is not a bad thing. So, Dilutions paint looks like that. So let's take some green of a Liquitex Basics. And I've said this before, there's something, I don't know what. There's something, Dilutions paint is different than any other paint I've ever used. I must admit, it's awesome. It's different. It's like, to me, it's like nail polish. Reminds me, it's like properties of nail polish. More plasticky, more, I don't know. It's awesome stuff. I like it. I think it's different enough than any other type of acrylic paint that I own that it's worth the money. Again, how not to use any of this, my friends. We are just like, I would never put paint on like this with a spouncer on any, well, I shouldn't say never, but it's not my normal application for paint to begin with. Actually, look at how, wow. I don't know what you guys are seeing on camera. That's a pretty uniform coat. Let us see. I don't know. This is from, ooh, an old mask of something. Prima? Did Prima make those masks that were on that grommet thingy-me-do? All right, so let's put the spouncer through a stencil. You can buy these at the craft store, Amazon. I didn't make that word up. I make up a lot of words, but spouncer's not one of them. It's an actual thing. A pouncing sponge. You'd think that was something that would be a word I would make up. But not this time. Can't take the credit. Plaid well, maybe it wasn't even plaid. Anyways, spouncers are awesome. Let's see. The paint is taking to the paper like it would if I didn't have any gesso. Like, sorry, excuse me, that as if I had. Like when you put acrylic paint sometimes on thin paper, say like just a composition book paper that I don't have gesso on, that I haven't I haven't glued 2 pages together or whatever, the acrylic paint just sinks right in. This looks like it's somewhat sitting on top. Oh, that's kind of nice looking in the back. So let us put it on with a brush, see if we get any different stuff. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. Welcome, Bed of Dust. The White Knights movie. Well, it's all in Russian. Everything on the package, other than the color names, it's all in Russian. Look at that. So it just... And just to compare and contrast, if I were to do that same thing in my... Let's get out a comp book right here. I just happen to have 1 or 2 handy. What I'm working on. So here we are, just a blank page. Well, this one looks like it has some distress stain on it, but we won't move it over there. Let's see. So in regular comp book paper, I can see the lines through it. Because I think Jane told me that rice paper, some things sit on top. Shauna has those or the same ones under other name. Spouncers? Are we talking about, Debbie? I know. Who is Nina R? I don't know. Is there a Nina in the chat? I don't know. Oh, White Knights paint. Shauna has White Knights paint. Oh, I'll have to check it out. I remember, like I said, Sarah O tried to get me to get them a long time ago when I was doing all those swatches. And I just never did because, I was buying more expensive paints like, the Snelliers and the Mission Golds and all of that. And I was like, so White Knights is a more affordable option, I believe. All right, so let's see if we can see a difference. Now, I guess it's not exactly a perfect test because, there's lines in the paper here, and I don't have any lines in the paper over here to be able to see if I'd see them. Do you see a difference? So see how the paint on this comp book, it just sunk right in. Like it looks kind of dull. And then over here, don't you think it does look more vibrant on here? Or maybe it's just an optical illusion. Maybe it's in my head. But it looks, you know, when I use acrylic paint, me personally, you may have a different experience in your personal artwork, but if I use acrylic paint without gesso, it just sinks right in. It becomes dull. But over here, like it looks like it's on top of gesso. I mean, that looks like it's... Now, I could get the same opacity over here, but I would have to have a whole lot more paint. Shauna likes the white nights as well, and April from A Little Creative used to sell them in her Etsy too. I think they're quite popular. I'm going to get them and show them when I take a little break here, because I want to show you how they are in the pans and how they're in the little case. I'll show you. I'll show you in a minute, because I'm worried because some of them, the way they look like they're hand poured, it's almost, some of them are brimming over the rim. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's time to get a refill. As you can see, still making tar with my French press. Like, are you supposed to wait at all? See, I think that's my problem. I pour the hot water over the grinds in the French press, and I'm probably using too much coffee grinds to begin with. Anyway, I pour it over, and then I wait. Probably shouldn't wait, right? That's my problem. I want it strong, so I wait, like, not a long time. 30 seconds, maybe? A minute? And then I plunge it and pour it. I'm thinking you're probably just, like, probably not supposed to let it steep it all or brew it. I think you're just supposed to, like, plunge it and drink it. Yeah, I should dye some papers. Oh, I had a comment. I have to respond to that comment. I had a comment. Somebody asked me, like, yesterday or the day before, if I've used coffee. And so when I lost all that weight and became healthy, before I moved out here, when I was a personal trainer and I was eating clean and working out every day and all of that, I knew I was addicted to coffee. I drank a lot of coffee, and I was getting healthy, so I wanted to stop drinking coffee for 2 weeks, just to stop the addiction. Man, that first weekend, I had the absolute worst headaches of my life. Oh, terrible. Went through withdrawals, whatever. But now, why was I telling this story? Dun, dun, dun. We're talking about coffee. Now people are talking about... Oh, yes. So I had all this left over. I stopped drinking coffee for a couple weeks. So I thought, I got all this coffee. So I took a big container. I don't know if it was like a kitty litter container or something. I took like a plastic shoebox, some type of plastic container, brewed a whole bunch of coffee, left, like I brewed the coffee and I left. So anyways, I brewed coffee. I put a whole book and different papers. I think I still have some of those papers on the dark side of my room. I put a whole dictionary, well, without the covers on it, a bunch of other papers. I don't know if you guys remember, because I did it when I was in Burlington. So I brewed the coffee, but I also put like coffee grounds in between, like in the book. So I had like an old dictionary, whatever. So I put like fresh coffee grinds in all of the book, sprinkled in between all the papers, and I put the whole thing and covered the whole thing in coffee and let it sit for like a day and then let it dry. It was awesome. All right, people are telling me the papers are different colors, which influences it too. Very true, Therese. A different color paper influences the color of the paint, because this is kind of an off-white, creamish, and then this is white. Jane thinks maybe it's in the starch, has something to do with the starch. Yeah. Caffeine withdrawals are bad news. Let me tell you. It could be bad. If you ever have a headache, right? If you are a big time, not just coffee or caffeine in general, and you have a headache, sometimes it's lack of caffeine. So anyways, look, it should not have, your cup should not look like this, right? That means I've made it way, way, way too strong. And if my cup looks like that, imagine what it's doing to my teeth. Should not. Shouldn't think about those things. Now this is pretty much almost dry. Over here is still shiny, shiny. I like it how it looks on there, though. We'll have to experiment more with that. I like how paint looks on this paper. I sure do. I'm going to spray something else over here, see what happens. This time I'll spray the Distress Spray Stain in Tarnished Brass. I like this stuff a lot. Sing in the Rain. I used a French press for years. It should about 5 minutes before plunging. Really? That's what I'm doing, and it's making tar Singing in the Rain. Maybe I'm using too much coffee. The one I have is what's it called? Bodum? Is it BOUD? The one they sell at Starbucks. I have two of them. Anyway, it's like this big. So it's the 6-inch tall one, and I'm filling it all up. I don't know how. I'm gonna have to research it. Maybe I'm using too much coffee. Welcome, by the way. I'm just gonna reach over. Let's see. No, I haven't used. We're just making papers. Later on, I'm gonna rip this up and collage it into a journal or whatever to see how it reacts like that, or how it reacts with the paper when I collage it. So I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna get my white nights. I don't know why I'm doing this, because this is empty, so it's it's light. There's not heavy at all. Welcome, Azur. Hi, Ellie. So I'm gonna go get more of my super strong French press coffee, because I can't figure it out. Maybe what I need to buy is one of those pour over ones, because then it just I looked up and I thought there was a bug on my wrist. I about lost my I looked up at the camera and I thought it was a beetle on me. I almost lost my mind. All right, let's wipe that off before I do. I don't drink some kind of, yes, definitely. Look, I need a holy smokers. All right. Well, there was definitely other things going on this stencil that came off on there. Anyways, we're just playing. I'm just seeing how rice paper works with different media. I am already used to. We tried the Sumi ink, not Sumi ink, excuse me, the Inkstone. First time I've ever used that type of brush. Interesting. We're just playing around today, my friends. Yes, I need a refill. Azure Muse, 1 table of coffee per 6 ounces of water. You put, Azure, you didn't, it says I put tablespoons in mine. How many tablespoons do you put in yours? 1 tablespoon for 6 ounces of water. I write that down. And then I just have to look up how many ounces of water are in my. Look, I have this. Maybe I should use this for iCAD. Got that at Z-Dollarama a long time ago. Ew. Let's use a regular pen. 1 tablespoon for 6 ounces. Is that normal, for like even for drip? 1 table, 6 ounces water. And that's good for our French press, because French press, drip coffee, it's all different. It's all different. All right, my friends, I shall be back. Have a wonderful day, Tess. Anybody know? I don't know if Patty's streaming or not. I don't know if she streams every Sunday, to be honest. I don't know. If she is, somebody let me know. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a refill, get my White Nights watercolor, and I'll show, because I want to show you what I'm talking about, how they came and what it looks like, and how I'm not concerned's not the right word. Anyway, I'll show you. I shall be back. 5 minutes. Bye, Carol. CB. I don't know why I keep calling you Carol. Be right back. I'm just muting for a moment. All right, sorry about that. I had to make. So in the side door of my fridge where I keep my cream, I drink 10% cream. Simon had an open can of pop. So when I put the cream back in the fridge door, I tipped over the can of pop, so I had to clean that up. Because that's sticky. Can't gotta do that. All right. So there's other set. I think on the American Amazon, Amazon.com rather than .ca. There's bigger sets. The 12 colors was the only set that was on the Canadian one. I don't even think it's. I might have bought the last one. I don't think it's there anymore. Looks like this. St. Petersburg White's Night in partnership with International Watercolor Society. IWS. I like that little logo. Beautiful painting on the front of it. So box, and I've already taken all the wrappers off already. Ooh, it's upside down. So it's this little box. Again, this is only 12 colors. Hey, Carrie. It give you a little swatchy sheet, which is always fun. So they look like this. So at first, and they were all in wrappers. I'm like, how do you get them out? So it comes out like this. Now, it's plastic like that. And then 2 come up the top, 2 come up the bottom. All right, so let's take these 2 out and I'll show you what I mean. So they look like they're hand poured. See these little pan? Let's look at this green one as a good example. So on the side, so definitely looks like it's hand poured. But, okay, which one goes for? I'm looking at the back for the colors. So the blue was the one on top. And then some of the pans, for example, like this is neutral black. I mean, it's all the way up to the top. So my concern is, normally, if I'm using a little pan of whatever, I go in with the spray bottle. Once they're in here, they stay nice. But, I go in with the spray bottle and wet the entire thing. But what I'm worried, the pans are like overflowing. So if I go into a spray bottle, this black is going to go right into that green. I don't know if anybody else has had experience with this. Like I'm truly afraid to just go right in with my spray bottle. Like I might just have to drop water in here to wet these. And they're definitely well, I wouldn't call it semi-moist. Well, maybe I would. They're definitely not dry pens. They're shiny, shiny. You put yours in a different box? Yeah, Jeremy. So I'll have to use like an eyedropper or something like a pipette or something until I start using some. I don't know if anybody who else has used these. Maybe next time I see Shauna, I'll have to ask. On the back, so this 12 set comes with, and these are all no, they're not. Except for, no, umber, they're not single pigments. I lied. A lot of them are single pigments. Cadmium yellow medium, yellow ochre. So cadmium yellow medium, yellow ochre, cadmium red light, carmine, ultramarine, azure, emerald green, green, umber, burnt umber, and neutral black. And it gives you the pigment colors and light fastness and opacity and all that other. G for granulate paints. Which ones are granulating? Burnt umber, cadmium red light, ultramarine. We do that. So yeah, I'm afraid to just take my spray bottle, because that red is going to go into that yellow, just because both pans are so like filled to the very brim, if not overfilled. This is White Night, St. Petersburg. So just search on Amazon White Nights. They're a Russian brand of paint. White Knights, St. Petersburg. They have larger sets as well. Well, I have my little bottle here of, well, it was Glow Recipe. Ew, that bottle is, hold the fort. No, there's ink in there. Look at that. All right, can't use that. I got my spray bottle here. I have another bottle. This has nothing in it. I don't know if these are the ones Jane and I bought to share that ink when we were in Maryland years ago or what. All right. So let's just, I don't think you'll have to add too much water to moisten these bad boys. They're already kind of semi-moist. The other watercolor, the other water I have here is a little tainted. All right, let me see. Princeton Neptune number 6, one of my favorites. I'm going to put these off to the side for a moment. Get me my watercolor book. Boy, that was good grammar. Tipper. Let's see. I've got to swatch it properly later, so I'm going to swatch it in my other book properly with the labels and everything. I'm just not really swatching. Just first. That's bright. A little touch that yellow. And yes, I know I'm not swatching these right. When I actually swatch them, I will go in, properly, make sure I have, the proper amount of paint on my brush. I'm assuming this is carmine. Ultramarine. It is so hard to swatch like this on this height. I did all those swatching on the couch. So I'm used to, I think, having my paper more closer to my lap. I don't know if I don't think they come in tubes. Do they come in? Oh, Jane's telling me yes. A set of 24 in tubes. They come in different color sets or by the pan. I didn't know they came in tubes. Okay, I don't think there's going to be anything wrong with it. I just have to be more careful, I think. And maybe, like I said, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I can spray this and nothing's going to happen, but I'm worried about it. Look at that. Beautiful blue. Which one was that? That was azure blue, and then this was the ultramarine. This is emerald green. Super vibrant, that's for sure. It's super hard for me to do this type of thing live because, swatching is such a meditative process for me that I just automatically will become quiet. I just start getting lost in my thoughts, which means I'm not, oh, well, look at that. Okay, so I just merged all those colors together, making a brown, literally making mud. This is a Canson watercolor, Canson XL watercolor journal. I'm just mixing what I have left, all this blue on my palette, making a mess. I get way too quiet when I do this. Maybe you guys enjoy that. Maybe you would rather see me quiet. Oh boy. Yeah, these are full pans, not half pans. So it's 12. The price, whatever it was, I think it was $30, something like that. Anyways, in and around $30. Could have been 32, 34 Canadian. For 12 full pans. I love how to see them blend together and how the granulation works. Love it. My favorite thing to do. Watch watercolor plate granulate. $60 for they were $60 for the set of 36 when Jane got them. Don't know how long ago that was. Ooh, that's dark. This is what do they call this? Neutral black. It's definitely dark. Let's see if I can bring that out a bit. Too much water. I had some fingerprints down here. Oh, I've already got some. I hate that. I hate when I get something in my yellow, especially the brightest of yellows. I've got some splot in there. There, it's gone. Again, how not to watercolor. I like what's going on over there. So I will be playing around with these for most of the day, probably. Go and read some more of my books. I truly appreciate everybody being here for day number 21 in a row of live art and chat. I shall see everybody tomorrow. Not sure what time. The cable guy is coming at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I'm not going to have internet. Well, I don't know if he has to take it out because right now we still have internet. It's still good. But I need to make sure. Tomorrow is our first membership Monday. It's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern time, members only live stream. So let's all cross our fingers. It's working right now. He's coming tomorrow. Might have to get a new router. just in case that's the problem with this one overheating or whatnot. But thank you everybody for being here. Hopefully you learned how not to use rice paper. I really like how the paint sits on top of it though. Very interesting. Very interesting. I need to go do me some research on ink stones, I think. Claire sent me a nice video. I'll go watch that. But again, thank you so much, my friends, for being here. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful day. I don't know if Patty's streaming or Zandra or anybody else, but if they do, I shall see you over on their channels. Awesome, Ellie. I make you art. That's exactly what this is all about. Thanks, Cheryl. Thanks, Tori. All right, everybody. See everyone soon. Watch that box. We'll dump that paint. Oh, I know. You mean this? I don't know what you mean. Watch that box. Well, once it's in the box, it's stable. When I take this plastic part out, yeah, that's bad news. I don't know if these full pans seem wider. I don't think they'll fit in my regular. Nah. Let's see. I'm just gonna quickly. Well, I don't want. No, I'm not gonna take it out yet till they dry, or else I will literally have this watercolor paint everywhere. Because when I took it out this morning, when I first got it, like they just slid. All the paint slid out. I mean, they were wrapped, so it didn't matter. But anyways, I look forward to using some of those. That black was pretty dark. Anyways, thank you so much, my friends. I'll see you soon. The mixing side has no edge on the bottom. It does. No, it does. Mine does. I think. Jane's got me confused. See you later, guys.